Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are. So, I'm doing something a little bit different tonight. I have two cameras in two different places. Let's see if we pull it off tonight. I'm Tawana Carter, career and transition coach, and I help women, high achieving women over 40, overcome the fear and anxiety that can come with changing to a new career path. I help them to recognize and communicate their unique value by empowering them to understand their unique values so that they understand their own strengths and abilities, and they're able to courageously and confidently pursue a path of purpose that is meaningful to them. So today we are talking burnout. So if you've been following along, this is the third series. This is 3 out of 3, part 3 out of 3. And so as you hop on, do give me a number 1 if you can hear me just fine. All right. And I appreciate that. And as well, if you're hopping on live, drop a hashtag live in the comments. And for those of you who catch me on the replay, as always, thank you for that. And you can drop hashtag replay. And again, thank you for joining me live as I cover the 3-part series. This is part 3 of Burnout. All right. And so if you want all 3 parts, just drop hashtag 3. Hey, Cedric, thanks for watching. Alabama is in the house tonight. Yeah. So if you want all 3 of the parts, just drop 3 parts in the comments and I'll email you all 3 parts. You can catch up, right? And part 2 actually comes with a PDF, a free PDF. 10 questions to ask yourself to recognize burnout, right? So the first part was, we talked about what burnout was, right? And in part 2, we talked about recognizing burnout. And tonight we're going to talk about resolving burnout and should you quit your job? That's really what this is about. As a career transition coach, that's what I do. I help women find new jobs, find new career paths, or transfer into a transition into entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is a career. I get people say, "Oh, I don't need career coaching. I'm going to become an entrepreneur." It's like, yeah, that's a career path, right? That's what I did in February 2021. I actually transitioned from a 6-figure job into full-time entrepreneurship. I have 2 businesses, Tawana Carter Professional and Personal Coaching, as well as JBC Counseling and Consulting. So I am now full-time employed by myself. And I got to tell you, it's pretty darn good. I take vacation days when I want to. My bedtime is 12 o'clock at night. I don't have to be up to 7:30 in the morning. And I got to tell you, it's a wonderful thing. I get a total kick, right, out of being able to go to bed at 12 o'clock in the morning. That was one of the biggest fights. Probably the only fights I had with my parent as a kid and through teenage years was going to bed. I kid you not. It was going to bed. So I just think it's so apropos that now go to bed when I want to. Actually, I go to bed at 12, so I'm up and I have my first client at 11. So I have more than enough time to rest, get up, pray, read my Bible, go walk, exercise, punch the punching bag, whatever it is I need to do for exercise. And I don't see my first client until 11 o'clock because why? I work for myself, and that is the schedule I set for me. So now for those of you, because we're here to talk about burnout, right? And I do have some pages open. So those of you that are in my Facebook group for women, Courage to Transition Your Career, no one else will see your comments unless you click the little link that came with that video that says I'm going live on StreamYard. If you want me to share your name, you have to click that link and give StreamYard permission to do that. Otherwise, if you don't, feel free to ask whatever questions you want to ask, because I am the only person that will see. Okay. So let's go ahead and start out. We've already described burnout. We've described the causes, it's unmanaged stress in the workplace. But tonight we want to talk about resolving the resolving the burnout, because that's the thing you need to do. Number 1, just the biggest reasons is for health reasons, right? Burnout is intense stress, it's unmanaged stress, it's anxiety, it can be anger, and stress and anxiety over time break the body down. So, what do you mean when you say break the body down? Well, when you're anxious and when you're stressed, you have these hormones, these chemicals that are secreted. Two of the big ones are adrenaline and cortisol, right? The thing is they're there for protection. We secrete those chemicals because we're supposed to stand and fight or run and get to safety, and then they're supposed to go away. When you are in a workplace that's like toxic and it's unmanaged stress, cortisol and adrenaline stay in your system just all the time. They stay there. Well, what do? They break down your organs and your tissue, right? And then cause diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, stress and anxiety. Unmanaged stress and anxiety can cause cancer, lupus, arthritis, kidney disease, a whole host of things if you don't manage stress and anxiety. And burnout is like a special kind of stress and anxiety. So you got to learn how to manage it, right? You have to learn how to manage it. So I want to drop a link because I actually have a 4-step process, and it is really simple, right? It's just a 4-step process that you can use to manage anxiety. It has the steps that I'm going to go over here, and I don't want people to like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything to write with. You won't need it because you can just get it for free, right? I'm going to drop a link there, and you should be able to go right on out and pick it up. So yes, let's see. I'm going to drop it in the comments here. And so that way you don't have to worry about writing this stuff down because I am providing it to you. All right. So real quickly, it is just 4 steps and it's ridiculously simple. All right. Or at least ridiculously simple to say it. Maybe on the execution, it may take a little bit of work on your part, but hopefully not much. So when we're talking about resolving anxiety, to put yourself in a place where you can start resolving it, number 1, you need to get enough sleep. Chances are, if you're burned out, you may have problems sleeping at nighttime, or you can go to sleep, but you can't stay asleep. Getting sleep is your number one priority to resolve burnout. Why? Because that's when the brain heals and the body heals. It's when you get enough sleep. When you don't get enough sleep, it is very easy for you to become angry, frustrated, irritated, aggravated, anxious. All of that happens when you don't get enough sleep, right? And it just piles on to the stress that you're already feeling from the burnout. So number 1, get more sleep. That's how you can start resolving the burnout, right? Number 2 is I can see here why I have messed this up. Let's see. We'll have to figure that out later. But number 2 is be sure you're getting rest. Now, rest. I say rest. Rest is not really going to say a football game, a basketball game, going to watch the races. That is not rest. That's recreation. Rest and recreation are not necessarily the same thing. We talk about rest, we're talking about, start off with short periods of rest. That's okay. It may be, a short walk to just get some breathing in. You're not trying to get some steps in. You're not trying to get exercise in to burn calories. It really is just a break to walk away from where you are and just get that rest. You can also meditate. You can also pray. There's Calm has an app out there. Insight Timer is an app where you can, meditate. Or, prayer, meditation, same thing. Both of those will create a space where you can actually rest. There are breathing exercises where you can rest. And for some of you, I can't do it, but short naps are really good. I don't often do short naps because I'm not a nappy type person. I stay up, I get a nap, 30, 40 minutes of nap, and my body thinks it's had a rest all night long. And then I'm up like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's not a great thing, right? So, but it is about getting enough rest, okay? And shorter periods of rest. And you can do that. Some people say power naps during the daytime. You can do a power nap. go ahead and do that. But again, some of us just don't. We don't do naps well at all. Some of us just feel groggy when we wake up, and then some of people are like me. I'm up to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning if I get a nap. But you can find these shorter periods of rest if you want to do some stretches, do a few yoga moves, something that invites rest, allowing your brain just to slow down for a little bit, right? So we talk rest. The next one is relaxation. So rest can be relaxation, but you want longer periods of relaxation. Rest is at shorter periods, maybe a few times during the day to try to get yourself during the day. But relaxation is when you take longer periods to relax. And again, we talk relaxation. We're not talking about going to football games or basketball games, or you can go like out on a boat, but you're not fishing and you're not racing the boat. You're really going out just to sit, relax, be in the calm. Longer periods of relaxation really goes into helping you start to tool back that anxiety and that stress so that you can start dealing with the burnout. And all these things are really, they're done so you can start getting yourself in a space where you can start bringing the anxiety down, bringing the stress level down so you can start making decisions. Because as long as you're stressed out, you're not going to make great decisions for yourself because you're in fight or flight. You're just not going to make those great decisions for yourself. But, relaxation, longer periods of relaxation is different for different people. You may, want to take a 3-day weekend, or you can just take a weekend and go away. I know that for my counseling clients that are like really, really stressed out, I will tell them, if you can, go to a hotel for a weekend. Just you, yourself, and you go to a hotel, check in and do whatever it is you want. Most of them, when they say they do that, they go to sleep. Well, if you just pass out and go to sleep for the whole weekend, that means you really needed the rest. You really did. Some, longer periods of vacations are great as well. You want to take a week vacation. My goal was like 2-3 weeks of vacation. And then, I'm planning on moving to another country 4 or 5 months out of the year so I can, counsel and coach and then just chill wherever I am. So those are my hashtag goals, right? Because I want those longer periods of relaxation. When I'm not seeing a client, I just want to sit at the beach and look, or go sightseeing in whatever country I'm in. Things like that. When we talk about the longer periods of relaxation, that's what we're talking about. Short weekend getaways, longer vacations, maybe a 5-day vacation if you can't take that full week or 2 weeks, right? All of those things will help you to relax. Remember, recreation and rest, not the same thing. Recreation and relaxation, not the same thing. Okay. You can even, if you're going to go for a hike, spend time in nature. That can include a longer period of relaxation where you're out in nature. Being out in nature helps reduce stress. It helps fight depression, and it's just kind of good all around, right? And then last thing, and it's certainly not least on the list, is resolving burnout. You want to eat what is right for you. And that what is right for you is important because we're all different. Some of us may eat 6 small meals a day, and that's what we do. Works out great, fine. Some of us just eat the 3 big meals a day, and that's it. Others of us will eat the 3 meals, and then we have snacks in between, healthy snacks in between. The thing is to do is what is right for you. Because if you have diabetes, you probably can't just do with the 3 big meals. You got to spread your meals out across the day, right? Those of you with Crohn's disease, you probably got a special way that you need to eat and spread them out during the day. Some of you do intermittent fasting, some of you don't. Whatever is right for your body, you want to just be sure it is a good diet. Got to get the healthy fats in there, get your protein. Protein, you need that to heal that body so you can heal mentally and then heal physically. So we're talking about, resolving burnouts. And I just gave you 4 steps to resolving burnout. These steps really start to create space for you to start making decisions that are right for you as you figure out how to resolve burnout, right? And so, as you know, this started off, there's a second part of this. We talk about resolving burnout. And the second part is, should you quit your job? That's an issue, okay? Because I know people that have had heart attacks because they were stressed out on the job month after month after month, week after week, month after month, year after year, and they had burnout. right? Because we talked about the four, the steps that, when we talk about burnout, you don't have to have like all the steps of burnout, right? The three components of burnout: exhaustion, cynicism, and efficacy. Just feeling like it doesn't matter what I do, it's not going to help. If you have one of those, exhaustion, or you just cynical, who cares, whatever, you've lost all enthusiasm or motivation to do the job, or you just feel like you've lost self-confidence in the capacity to perform your job well. If you have one of those, you're in burnout, right? And so it is like, do I quit my job? That answer is, it's a depends. Like I said, I know people who did not quit. They had the heart attack first, and then it was like renegotiation. Some employers will work with you to renegotiate your schedule, renegotiate your work, what you do, who you supervise, what session you're in. Some employers will do that for you. Some of the employers is like, you need to, hop on up and do what you got to do, because I don't have time for that. When you start getting into those situations with employers, then you have some decisions to make, right? Do you stay in that job when you know it's killing you because you've already had the heart attack, or you've got the high blood pressure, now you got diabetes, and you might get sleep apnea and a whole host of other things? Do you continue working in the job knowing that it's literally physically killing you? So there are four questions that you have to ask yourself to decide. Do I stay or do I go? Do I do a career transition? Do I do a job transition, or do I just stay here? And it all depends. And when I talk career transition, I always remind people that career transition is not about quitting your job today. Now, I've seen some people have to do that because, well, they're so sick, they don't have a choice. But career transition is about planning, taking the steps to plan so that it is a process you follow so that you can find another job while you have one job, and just do a career transition or a job transition to the new job. Because people get real anxious when we talk about, I can't quit my job and I got bills to pay, I got mortgage. You don't have to quit your job now. It's about taking, what are the steps that you need to take starting out of the gate, right? So the four questions that you need to ask yourself to figure out, what's the process for you? Number one, does your employer or your job enable you to be the best version of yourself? Right? Can you go to that job? Do you feel like, yeah, this helps me to be the best me? I feel confident here. I feel motivated. I feel enthusiastic. I am happy about coming to the job. Those are questions to ask yourself. Does your employer enable you to be the best version of yourself? Number two, how well does your employer or your job align with your values and interests? An important question, right? If you are working for a place that uses animal products and you're vegan and you disagree with that, you may have a mismatch of values there. If you are concerned about the environment and your job is like, who? What? I don't have time for that. You could have a mismatch of values, right? Just in interest, even. Sometimes jobs, you will still have the same tasks, but you get new management in and they go in a different direction, right? You got to ask yourself that question. How well does your job align with your values and interests, right? Question number three, what does your future look like in this job? What does your future look like in the job? Or what does your future look like with the organization? And that's like deep question, because if you're at home sick, and I've seen people sit home sick for a month, or sit home sick for 2 weeks, you can't raise anything heavier than a broomstick because they were so stressed out, burned out, and sick. So you got to ask yourself, what does your future look like with this employee in that job? If you're this sick now, and then you stay around for another 2 years, 10 years, 5 years in the same job, what does your future look like? Will you be around to even see their future? Questions and questions, right? And so number four, the last question is, what is burnout costing you? Talk to your family, your close friends around you, right? Ask them how it's affecting your relationships. How does burnout affect, what is it costing you? How is it causing your wealth? Right? If you're sick all the time and your money is going for medication and doctor's bill, how's that affecting you? How's it affecting your overall career? If your health declines to the point where you can't even go out and get a job somewhere else, how's burning out affecting you? Do you need to stay in that particular job? Yes, you need a job, but do you need that particular job? Right? And then how's it affecting your happiness? When's the last time you just felt carefree and happy? You get up and go to work like, yeah, I'm looking forward to go to work. Or are you one of those when work comes up, you get a headache, you get a stomach ache, you just start feeling a sense of dread. You just feel like something's not right and you just hate to go into the job. Or you like some folks that call in every Monday. Yeah, I've been in a workplace where someone is called in every single Friday, or they'll call in every single Monday. It could be job burnout. And so the question, you ask your four selves, ask yourself these four questions, right? So this is the crux. So this is what I do. This is where I come in. This is where career coaches, career transition coaches, this is where we come in. Because if you decide that you can renegotiate, or you want help to renegotiate with your current employer, because some will do that, then a career coach, career transition coach, we can help you do that. We can help you lay out the best of ways and lay things out. And if you need to ask for accommodation and whatnot, I can help you do that, right? It's plausible. But if you ask yourself these four questions, and number one, your health is already declining, or you're already sick, or you're noticing all the symptoms of burnout, then it's time. It may be time for you to look for another position. Again, career transition is not about like quitting now and looking for a job. No. You look for the job now, and then you quit once you have that other job lined up, right? And so for me, it was a little easier because, well, I own two companies. I did have to do a career transition to entrepreneurship. However, entrepreneurship was my 11th career transition. I've done 10 career transitions before this. And I got to tell you, not a one of them did I leave a job without, I had no money coming in until I had to find a job. No, right? Even when I resigned from the military, I was still getting paid while I look for another job. If you can set that up and take that time in between and still get paid, by all means, come see me. We can get a lot of work done, right? If you're one of those who needs to start working now to line up something so that you can leave, come see me. I offer a no cost strategy session. You can come in and see me. It's about 45 to 60 minutes. And we sit down, we start looking at a step-by-step plan so you can get started on the steps you need to do for your career transition. Now, oftentimes what I run into is women don't really know what they want to transition into, because for some of you, the burnout is in the career field and you need to do a complete switch to a career field. I can help you with that. For others of you, it's a job transition, change from this company to this company. I've also done career transition, coach women who actually found another job within their organization, got a 10K raise, all that good stuff. So it just depends on your, situation as how we can work together. So, but it all starts with a no cost transition, no cost strategy session. All you got to do is drop career in the comments, and I will get back with you, set that up for you, give you a couple of dates. You pick from one, you show up, pen and paper. I always ask you to bring that, because we'll be going over steps and things that you can start doing to start a career transition so you can move to a career where you can be healthy and happy, and your family can be happy too, right? And if some of you are like, well, I'm single, I don't have anybody home with me, well, you still deserve to be happy. Whether or not you have kids or you have a significant other, you still deserve to be happy. You don't want to be sick, because once you lose your health, health underpins everything. Lose your health and your life just starts to go down. It does. It does. You lose your health. In some cases you can't even work anymore. You lose your health, you certainly may lose your wealth too. And I've seen people that, their health is what ended up bankrupting them, because they went through all their savings because they were so sick. So you don't have to do that. Ask yourself the 4 questions. 4 questions. And if you're like, I think I do need a career transition, I don't know where to start, again, drop #career in the comments, and you can get started with a no-cost strategy session. We'll walk step by step, set up a plan for you so you can get started now. All right. So I'm going to take a peek around, see if I have any. Let's see. All right. I'm looking to see if I have any comments over here. I'm going to check the group. So it looks like I don't have any comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And this is the last of my 3-part series, Burnout. Should you quit your job? Thank you for joining me and have a great evening. Bye-bye.